Good morning, everyone. We will now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku prayer, please stand. 高天原にかむすまります。かむろぎかむろみのみことそめみろやかむいざなぎのみことつくしのひむかのたちあなのおどのあぎはらにみそぎはらいたもうときになりませるはらいのおかみたちもろもろのまがごと積みけがれおあらいたまえ清めたまえとまおすことのよしおあまつかみ国つかみやおよろずの神たちともに雨のふちこまの耳振り立ててきこしめせとかしこみかしこみぬまおすみろくおみかみ守りたまえさきはえたまえみろくおみかみ守りたまえさきはえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえさきはえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえさきはえたまえくんながらだまちはえますくんながらだまちはえます Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us, radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei.
May God and Meishu-sama bless you.
Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. Makoto. Words of love spoken from the heart, even if awkward and stumbling, have the power to affect the hearts of others. The essence of living our faith can best be described in one word: Makoto, love. No other words are needed. No lesser word would suffice. What is missing in our world is Makoto, love and integrity. That is really what is lacking. The simplest way to know whether a person has or does not have Makoto is to see how much value is placed on promises and whether or not they are kept. People in general do not think it is so important to keep a mere promise, but truly it is, because the breaking of one's word means that the individual has told a lie, has committed a sort of moral crime. Of the various promises made, the one people tend to treat the most lightly is that of punctuality. You should show consideration for the person you have promised to meet. If such consideration does not well up from within, it is because you are lacking in Makoto, love. No matter how good you may be otherwise, the absence of this one vital important quality spoils your whole being. Anyone who believes in God should do his or her best to keep promises and to be on time always. If you cannot do this, you fail a test of faith. Those who profess to believe in God should never forget this.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters. Meishu-sama talks about punctuality in the teaching, and there was this passage when somebody came to meet him. It was an interview, and when the person came, he was late, and Meishu-sama then didn't attend him. And then he said, "Oh, but according to my watch, I'm on time." But then Meishu-sama said, "But you should always count of our wall clock here. That's where we base our time." And there is this saying that goes, if you come on time, you are late, meaning that a person who then shows this makoto, this sincerity, as Meishu-sama is teaching us, always arrives earlier, because we always have to prepare for unexpected things. If we always are counting on the normal time, let's say that we go from point A to point B, but then we are not counting of things that could happen, and then we are going to be late. So maybe someone was trying to teach that to that person, and then he was disappointed. Oh, so that means I will have to come another day. Yes, you have to come on another day. I'm not going to then spoil my whole schedule. If someone could accomplish so many things because his whole day was divided. Okay, 1 hour to meet members, 1 hour to do flower arranging, 1 hour to dictate the teaching. So there was so many things he could accomplish. So his time was very precious. 1 minute would then create this domino effect where things would not be productive. So he had to be very firm about time, and that's the teaching he is inspiring us to be on time always, because that's a test of faith. And if we fail that, and it's a basic test. So in order to pass to higher levels of tests, we need to pass this one on punctuality. My mother was the first member in my family, started receiving Johrei, taking my sister to receive Johrei in 1965. And then for 3 years, she volunteered, received lots of Johrei, participating in the services. So she wanted to be sure that to become a member, when she would decide, that would be a firm decision. So she created this very strong foundation, and then after 3 years of intense participation, then she became a member, and once she became a member, nobody could stop her. So she was very dedicated. Soon she became a missionary, then was taking care of a group of members in our neighborhood that at that time there was no Johrei center. So she was the one missionary our local minister could count on. In the process, she guided many people. I remember as a child going to visit homes, she would take our publications, remind them, look, next Sunday is the monthly service. So through these efforts, again, many people became members because of she was assisting them. And one a passage which was very interesting because many times we receive requests for Johrei assistance, but sometimes the person who is asking us say, "Oh, look, I have my cousin. He's in the hospital. Could you go there and give him Johrei?" And that's all sure. And then we go, with all the love and enthusiasm. And then when we come to the hospital, the person says, "Oh, what is this? How is it? Johrei? Oh, that thing that my cousin practices, but I'm not interested." So there happens situations like that. So we always want to make sure that the person who is receiving Johrei really wants to receive, that is aware of what he or she is going to receive. And there was this time when somebody asked my mother, "Oh, could you come to give me Johrei because I'm undergoing a heavy purification. I need lots of Johrei." And she said, "Sure." So, but she had to manage many things at home in order to make that time available. And that only time was in the evening, and it was a rainy day. She had to walk several blocks from her home to give Johrei to this person. Once she got there, the person was already receiving Johrei from 2 or 3 other people that they were there also, because she made several calls for Johrei assistance. And as my mother arrived there, then the person said, "Oh, I don't need Johrei now because I'm already receiving from these other people." Then my mother said, "No, you are going to receive." I said that time, especially to give you Johrei, I made that whole effort. You sit here, I'm going to give you Johrei. I'm not going to leave you here without giving you Johrei. So my mother had that strong personality, and that produced many good fruits. We received our home altar in 1977, and then 1990, through all these efforts, a Johrei Center was established in that neighborhood. And I mention that because today I'm going to share these faith experiences from that Johrei Center Interlagos. That's from Gabriela Barranqueiro. And this experience was shared yesterday in Brazil. Gabriela is 33 years old and came to know Johrei through 2 friends who are members of our church. At that time, she was battling depression and was using 11 different types of medication. On top of that, she was unemployed. So in March of 2020, these friends started to give her religious assistance, going to her home almost every day to give her Johrei. Little by little, she got better. Gabriela felt more encouraged, and the hope of being happy was reborn in her heart. In August, with the gradual reopening of the Johrei Center, her friends invited her to visit the church and receive Johrei. That day, Gabriela had the opportunity to talk to the minister, and he guided her to continue visiting the center, receive as much Johrei as possible, and seek to make herself useful to God. Thus, she received Johrei practically every day, both at church and at home, from her friends. The following month, Gabriela began to dedicate tendering the garden of the Johrei Center, which made her feel very good and willing to be more and more useful. She started to materialize her monetary offering of gratitude whenever she could, and was invited to participate in activities promoted by the Johrei Center's youth group. In this way, she became more and more involved and got to know more about our practice of faith and the principles of our church. In January 2021, Gabriela was blessed to participate in a dedication at the Guarapiranga Sacred Grounds, which was a very special moment for her. Her improvement was clear. She found herself growing stronger spiritually, and the symptoms of her depression significantly reduced. Gabriela lives with her mother and sister, and they were both amazed and delighted by her transformation. Feeling renewed by the work of the divine light, she awoke to the desire to become a member, with the intention of doing for others what they had done for her. That is, dedicating to the channeling of Johrei for the salvation of many people. Thus, on January of this year, Gabriela was blessed to receive the sacred focal point, or Hikari. She currently volunteers at the Johrei Center's reception, participating in youth activities, and try to introduce Johrei to people whenever she has a chance. Gabriela is doing the practice of faith in her home and channels Johrei regularly to her mother and sister. Nowadays, she only makes use of 3 medications, but with God's permission, she will soon not need them any longer. Gabriela is a veterinarian, and 2 days after receiving her Hikari, she was invited to work in a pet's clinic where she practices her profession. Gabriela is thankful to God, Meishu-sama, and her ancestors for the blessing of having her life completely transformed, as well as being grateful to her friends who introduced her to Johrei and gave vital assistance on her journey. Gabriela's commitment is to continue dedicating to the divine work and deepen her spiritual knowledge and understanding to become an increasingly useful instrument for the realization of paradise on earth. So it was a very wonderful experience by Gabriela. Bring me these memories from my time in Interlagos. Thank you very much for listening to these words today. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
This brings to a conclusion of our morning service. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a blessed day.